home, everyone. Welcome home. We are talking about affordable housing while living here in America, and we know the rent is too doggone high. So every week I commit to coming on here talking about affordable housing, low income resources, low income relief, all of that will help people out here in need. Today we're going to talk about the state of Michigan. We're going to talk about Detroit in particular. What we are is we're a community trying to prevent and reduce homelessness one person at a time. And as I always say, it starts right here with us guys. So I ask when I give you this information that you pass this to your homeless communities, your family and friends who need it the most. Okay, that's the only thing I ask you to do, is to like the video and to share the video. All right, and to let me know what state you're looking for in the comments. That's the only thing that I ask you to do. And if you want to stay updated to weekly updates, to just become a subscriber and press that bell notification. We do talk about other things on this channel. We talk about herbalism, we talk about life, and I show you a little bit of entertainment. So it's a very creative channel, so I hope that you will stick around for not just housing, but for other things as well. So let's go ahead and get started, because this is going to be a longer video because we are talking about Detroit. And so I'm going to give those resources to you on what I have found out there. The only thing you have to do is you can either call them, you can go on their website, or sometimes they have an email. So I'll just give you what I have found. All right, so getting started, there is a low income home energy assistance program. I know some of the funding has been cut in certain states, but right here I have found something in Michigan. So the only thing you can do is call them. Call them and find out if that you are eligible. So they are closed today. Everything opens again on Monday. But if you need some energy assistance, you can contact Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, guys. That's who you'll look for. It's at 8655 Greenfield Road, Detroit, Michigan. So that is Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. It is by the DHHS program. All right. So if you know someone that needs transitional housing, there is a program that helps pay a full rent subsidy and give support. All right, so they're helping you if you have bad credit, a bad history, to help pay for housing. So some kind of bad housing history, they'll help you with transitional housing at First Step at 734-722-6800. Hey Logan, thanks for coming in, Logan. All right, so we are talking about low income relief. We are talking about resources today only in the state of Michigan. We're talking about Detroit in specific. Hey Brittany Ingram. So if you know someone that needs this information, I'm asking you guys to just pass this information along to your homeless communities, your family and friends who need it the most, because we know rent is gone sky high. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Eddie. All right, so home heating credit. It is offered by the Michigan Department of Treasury. What you can do is you can go over to their website, or you can call 517-636-4486. All right, so this is to help families pay for their heating expenses. Like I said, a lot of light heat programs are being have no funding, have been discontinued, but not in every state. So here is another option for you guys. It is by the Michigan Department of Treasury. So if you want help for your utilities, call them. Moving on, because we have a lot of resources here in this state. So there's a transitional and permanent housing assistance. It is by the ARAB Community Center for Economical Social Service, guys. This is to help pay for housing. It's for financial assistance. It's usually an emergency assistance fund, and it's usually for people that are near emergencies, like young adults, seniors, and adults. Okay. Hey Julia, thank you so much. So telephone number there is 313-842-7010. All right, 842-7010. Benefits assistance for food assistance, emergency. What is this? Emergency relief assistance to help pay for food, utilities. It is by the American Indian Health and Family Service, and what you can do is you can call 846-6030. Come on in, guys. We're talking about low income assistance, low income relief. This is what we do. It is a new week. We talk about affordable housing here, and we talk about help to pay for things, okay? So Project First Step helps pay for housing, helps to find housing, helps to give short-term housing, financial assistance, and financial education, guys. It also helps you to pay for work. So the place is administered by Neighborhood Legal Services in Michigan, and you would just have to go to their website, Neighborhood Legal Services Michigan. Actually, they want a referral, so you would need to go first to Wayne Metropolitan Community Action to get a referral over to Neighborhood Legal Services Michigan. All right, next up, a homeowner's property tax exemption. So for help to pay for housing, help for foreclosure counseling, it is the Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency, and you can call 866-313-2520. All right, there is a water residential assistance program to help pay for water bills, guys. It is 313-386-9727. That is Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency, 313-386-9727. So there is a HUD housing program to help pay for housing, and you guys can go over to Inkster Housing Commission. Telephone number is 313-561-2600. There is a Veterans Financial Assistance Program, guys, to help veterans that have been active duty or injured transitioning back to their civilian lives. And you can just go over to Salute Incorporated. All right. So moving on. All right, back to my notes here. State emergency relief for heat and utilities. There's a lot of places here for heat and utilities help here in Detroit, looks like. So for emergency payments and help to pay for utilities, you can go over to the website Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. There is a water crisis hotline. So I know they had a very bad water crisis in Michigan not too long ago, especially in Flint. So if you need some emergency water help or paying for utilities or any other general help, you can contact We the People of Detroit at 844-429-2837. There is mortgage and rent assistance help for seniors and people near homeless. And that's also administered again by the ARAB Community Center for Economic and Social Services. Contact 313-203-3391. There is HUD Public Housing. You can go to Dearborn Housing Commission, guys. It is at 13615 Michigan Avenue in Dearborn, Michigan. Suite number 2. Also, there is a place, so if you know some youth that need some financial assistance, they need some skill and training, and they have not obtained their high school diploma and they need help with that, there is a place that's dedicated to helping with that called Spectrum Human Services Incorporated and affiliated companies. Contact them at 734-458-8736. More energy assistance help by the Society of St. Vincent de Paul in Detroit. You can contact 313-393-2855. Happy Easter to you too, Ben. All right, more energy assistance, guys. Michigan Energy Assistance Program. You can contact Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency, 313-388-9799. There is a program called Rental and Leasing Assistance Program. It is actually administered by HUD. and the Southwest Counseling Solutions, which help pay for housing and short-term housing guys. So contact Coordinated Entry Systems because you'll need to get a referral. All right? Coordinated Entry Systems will refer you over to Southwest Solutions. If you need to get a Section 8 Housing Choice voucher, you can go over to Melvindale Housing Commission, telephone number 313-429-1095. All right, there's the supportive housing division that helps people in transition from homelessness to permanent housing, helps pay for housing, helps give housing vouchers, guys, and help find housing. And that is Central City Integrated Health, and you can contact 313-831-3160. All right, moving on because I have a lot to cover, okay? All right, so the Michigan State Housing Development Authority helps families, individuals, and homeowners, guys, by issuing a federal tax credit to first-time home buyers. Okay, so you want to go to the website Michigan State Housing Development Authority. Also, you can go to Michigan State Housing Development Authority for a home loan program for first-time home buyers. And if you need help to pay for housing, find housing, or long-term housing, you can contact Community Housing Network. So it is a permanent supportive housing program, and you can contact them at 248-269-1335. There is a homeless prevention program that helps provide financial assistance, housing relocation, and stabilization services, guys. Also offering advocacy and legal aid. So please let your homeless communities know about the Neighborhood Legal Services in Michigan, 313-964-1975. As I said before, things will open again on tomorrow. They wouldn't be open today. All right, so there is a place for the disabled, the individuals, families, and homeless, especially for the homeless and disabled individuals 18 or over. There's a program that helps pay for housing, rental assistance at the Neighborhood Legal Services in Michigan. You can contact 313-964-1975. You want to ask about the Wayne County Permanent Supportive Housing Program. So when you call, sometimes you need to know exactly what the program is that you're looking for. So it is Wayne County Permanent Supportive Housing Program, guys. Get this information out. Share this video to the people that need it, all right? I need help getting this video out because sometimes it doesn't get to the people that need it the most, all right? Some things do not get put out that need to get put out. Hi there, Knowledge TV. Hey, fam. Thank you. Thank you for stopping through. I know I don't expect you to stay here because this is going to be a very long video. But thank you so much for stopping through. All right, supportive housing and homeless services. Another place to help find housing, financial assistance, and they actually can help with a temporary shelter, guys. So call 313-388-9799. There is a place called the Pink Fund that helps with short-term financial aid for basic living expenses for those who are experiencing breast cancer. So go over to the Pink Fund, their website. All right. There is also a place to help pay for utilities, housing, credit counseling, job placement, resume development, guys, interview training, and skills training at Spectrum Human Services. It is the Operation Able of Michigan, and you can contact 313-832-0922. All right, there is a Michigan Men's Health Foundation that will help pay for housing, health care, utilities, and prescription assistance. It is a financial assistance place. You go to the website, the Michigan's Men's Health Foundation. All right, if you know someone experiencing leukemia and lymphoma, you can go over to their Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. They have a patient aid program to help pay for gas, food, healthcare, housing, all right, and utilities. Contact 1-800-955-4572. All right, moving on. The Last Mission project. So they help pay for housing, help pay for food, utilities, and transit. This is for veterans, guys, for PTSD. All right, so go to Operation First Response. Let your veterans know. There is also a financial hardship program for those who are chronic or terminally ill or have a rare condition such as cancer to help pay for food and utilities, guys. It is called Vital Options International. All right, Operation Homefront will help pay for health care, food, housing, utilities for military families during difficult times. You can contact 877-264-3968. Thank you, thank you. The sun, I even know I have my sunglasses on. Is that Nuab? Roblox. Noah Roblox. Thank you for being here. All right. A Patient Advocate Foundation program. It's called Begin Again Foundation Financial Aid. Helps pay for housing, financial assistance, utility assistance, and food. And this is a angel fund program, guys. So I take it that you would have to have some kind of diagnosis. And you would need to call 855-824-7941. That is Begin Again Foundation Financial Aid Fund. All right, so moving on to the American Kidney Fund. They have a safety net grant program to help you pay for food, healthcare, utilities, and prescription assistance. Call 800-795-3226. All right. There is a Native American home buyers down payment and closing cost assistance program. It is not a rental assistance program. It is strictly for home buyers. All right, so you can call 401-273-2833. That is the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. All right, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society also has another program called the Urgent Need Program. You can contact 877-557-2672. And there is a special program, guys, for the truckers out here. If you know a trucker that happens to be sick right now, it is called St. Christopher's Trucker Relief Fund. And you can go over to St. Christopher's Trucker Relief Fund by the same name at the website. If you know a trucker that drives at least 500 miles a day and is away from home 200 days a year at least, plus, there's some help for housing if they have been sick due to a recent medical problem. All right, if you need free data, unlimited talk, and text monthly phone service, you can contact Air Talk Wireless. If you know someone that has ovarian cancer, there's a treatment fund, and they can contact 866-719-2767, and that is National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. All right, moving on. Blue Hub Capital. So Blue Hub Sun partners with families facing foreclosure because of a financial hardship, all right? So if you know someone facing foreclosure and they need help with housing, let them call Blue Hub Capital. 855-604-4663. If you know someone that has pancreatic cancer, there's a Patient Financial Assistance Fund. You can go over to the Project Purple website. All right, so there is an emergency financial assistance. I say every time, it just amazes me. It is for the elderly blues musicians, guys. It is a financial assistance to those elderly blues musicians to help them pay for health care, emergency payments, help to pay for utilities, housing, funeral help, burial help, transit, and they can contact the Pine Top Perkins Foundation. All right, so there's no need for no one to be without a cell phone, so you can contact Stand Up Wireless for a discounted wireless phone plan if you are low income. 1-800-55, I'm sorry, 1-800-544-4441. And also, there's financial assistance for food service workers in crisis. All right, that's big. You can go over to Giving Kitchen. There is an emergency grant, guys, for theater writers, playwrights, composers, book writers, and lyricists to help pay for emergency payments, child care, housing, financial assistance, and health care. All right. So if you know a playwright, a composer, a book writer, or a lyricist, send them over to the Dramatists Guild Foundation. What planet is this? Hey, Anthony. All right, there's financial assistance for families working in the restaurant industry. It is offered by the children of restaurant employees. So go to their website for help for housing and utilities. I know that should have been big, especially when the demic was around. The demic. Okay, so children of restaurant employees. All right, very good. That is updated for today, 2025. They are still around. If you know someone with breast cancer, there is Living Beyond Breast Cancer. You can go over to their website to help pay for housing and utilities and get overall financial assistance. And if you need free unlimited talk and text, you can go over to True Connect. There is an emergency assistance program, an energy and heat assistance program, guys, to help pay for utilities. It is called Empower, the Michigan Energy Security Program, and it is administered by True North Community Services. And you can contact 231-355-5880. All right, moving on. Give you the world, diamonds and pearls. All right, moving on to Helping Hands for Freedom. So this is an emergency financial assistance for veterans, guys, and they can go over to Helping Hands for Freedom. Please let your veterans know. Also, another veteran service helping to provide assistance to deserving families. All right, veteran families for the fallen, help to pay for housing, utilities, and financial assistance. They can go over to Michigan Bikers Helping Veterans. That's big. All right, moving on. There's a financial and addiction recovery assistance for music industry professionals, guys. That is big. So we know sometimes our musicians are in need of financial assistance. They may have fallen off due to addiction. So there is a recovery place. There's a place that provides housing, utilities, and emergency payments, and they can go over to Musi Cares, MUSICARES website. Lifeline Wireless Program at Pulse WRX. Go over to the website. And there's an emergency relief and relocation assistance program, guys, and they can go over to Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. And there's a homelessness service provided by the Salvation Army USA Central Territory, and it's 1-800-725-2769. All right. Be nice coming in here. We are talking about people that need help with low income. So be nice coming in here, please. And thank you. All right. So there's a financial assistance fund by Guidance Medical. and it's to help pay for food, health care, and housing and utilities. You can go over to Guidance Medical. If you know someone that has a brain tumor, a patient that needs financial assistance, have them go over to the website Glenn Garcelon Foundation. There is HUD Public Housing at the Melvindale Housing Commission. So I know we talked about a housing choice voucher, but also for public housing, you can contact 313-429-1095. And there's a housing opportunities for people with AIDS. It is called HOPWA, HOPWA, at the Detroit Health Department. And this is to provide housing assistance for those out there with AIDS. They can contact 313-638-2881. So that is big. Please pass this information along. Please and thank you. All right, there's energy and payment assistance case management. It is offered by the DTE Energy, and that is 800-477-4747. Also, for Section 8 housing choice vouchers, you guys can go to Michigan State Housing Development Authority or call 517-241-0809. Hello, the real P. How are you doing today? All right, there's a down payment assistance program by National Faith Home Buyers, and you can call 313-255-9500. There are more housing choice vouchers, guys. Help to pay for housing at the Lincoln Park Housing Commission. Call 248-593-4611. And there is HUD Public Housing Program offered by the River Rogue Housing Commission. And the address is 180 Visker Road, and that is in River Rogue, Michigan. All right, there is a place that helps with electric bills and heat bills, so emergency payments, some more help for utilities. It looks like they have a lot of help for utilities in Detroit. Who you can contact is go to the website, the Heat and Warmth Fund. All right, moving on. There's supportive services for veterans families, and they can contact Volunteers of America, Michigan to help for housing. And that is 877-509-8387, guys. All right, another homeowner's property exemption for help for housing and financial assistance. You can contact City of Detroit Property Assessment Board of Review. 313-224-3035. There's help to pay for housing for Native Americans, guys. And that is Chico Ranchera Housing Corporation. Or call 530-343-4048. Moving on. Help to pay for housing. This is for families with children, the homeless, the near homeless, and low income, and adults 18 and over. You can contact Society of St. Vincent de Paul, Detroit. For those that need emergency payments, help to pay for utilities, transportation, health insurance, and mental health care for those with HIV. There's a HIV medical case management. It is called Unified HIV Health and Beyond. 313-446-9800. There is a housing program for those with HIV. It is Unified HIV Health and Beyond as well. All right. And same thing for those with HIV. There's a medical case management. It is at Henry Ford Care Coordination. All right. Moving on. Section 8 housing choice vouchers. Westland Housing Commission. 734-595-0288. There is another energy security program in Michigan called Empower, EMPOWER, 231-355-5880. And this is a different place from the one that I said earlier because it's spelled different and it has a different telephone number. All right, so Infinite Strength. If you know someone with metastatic breast cancer, if they need help, there's a grant. Infinite Strength. Moving on, moving on, moving on. Also for breast cancer patients that need extra financial assistance for treatment and recovery, they can go over to Shades of Pink Foundation. All right, another Housing Choice Voucher Rental Assistance Program by Livonia Housing Commission. That is LIVONIA Housing Commission. Also, Section 8 vouchers administered by the Detroit Housing Commission, 313-877-8807. And if you need help to pay for internet, if you are low income, you can call Xfinity 855-846-8376. If you need another Lifeline wireless phone service, nobody should be without phone service. There is another place called SafeLink Wireless, 1-800-723-3546. If you know someone that needs financial assistance and they are experiencing colon cancer, this is for young colon cancer patients. They can contact Meritus Miracle Colon Cancer Foundation at 765-722-0302. And there is a military housing assistance fund, guys. And it is 720-214-6451. There's a down payment assistance program offered by Fifth Third Bank, 866-351-5353. And there is, for those with families with children battling cancer, there's help. There's financial assistance at the Brooke Healy Foundation. There is a National American Legions Fund, all right, for the American Legions. There's up to $3,000 in assistance for qualified Legionnaires, guys. So contact 800-433-3318. Hello there. Is that in the Great? Eric the Great. Hey there. Hey there. All right. So moving on. Another Lifeline wireless program is Tempo Telecom. You can call 833-998-3676. All right. So there is a place that offers grants up to $1,500 on a rolling basis to cover non-medical living expenses with those diagnosed with terminal breast cancer, guys. You can go over to Jill's Wish Foundation. Also, another energy assistance program offered by Salvation Army of Central USA. That is for Western Michigan and Northern Indiana. If you need housing assistance for you veterans out there, you can contact the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, 877-827-3702. And there is another mobile lifeline service offered by Safety Net Wireless, 888-224-3213. And another lifeline service offered by American Assistance. Contact 877-266-7212. So you guys should have plenty of phones. All right, so In Touch Wireless offers help to pay for internet. So 866-488-8719. And there is a single family housing direct home loan program offered by the United States Department of Agriculture in Michigan to help pay for housing. So there's some personal loans out there. 517-324-3300. 5210. Another Lifeline program by Michigan Public Service Commissioner, and that is 800-292-9555. If you need help to pay for internet, there's PCs for People, 651-354-2552. And there's an emergency assistance program to help pay for utilities, meals, bus passes, help for housing guys. Contact the Salvation Army USA Central Territory. Moving on. All right, so there is emergency assistance for those veterans out there. They can contact Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency to help pay for health care, maintenance and repairs, to help get a car, and help pay for utilities. So 800-642-4838. Also help for home phone or internet. Call AT&T. 866-684-6391. And also another Lifeline program called Tag Mobile Michigan. We'll go to their website because I don't have a telephone number. All right, so help to pay for health care, financial assistance, housing, transit for children with cancer under 18. Call the Parker Project at 480-845-9162, guys. All right, financial assistance for families with children facing catastrophic health issues and financial hardships. So to help pay for food, housing, gas, utilities, contact Patches of Light. You need to get a referral from a hospital staff first, but contact Patches of Light. All right, moving on. More cell phone help by iFoster, 855-936-7837. They actually help provide laptops for low-income families as well, okay? iFoster. All right, there's a service member and family support program offered by the Semper Fi Fund, 760-725-3680. And there is a grant for nurses, guys. It is a short-term grant for registered nurses who are unable to work due to medical crisis, okay? So if you know a nurse that needs help to pay for housing and health care and some financial assistance, please have them go to Nurses House. All right, moving on, moving on. If you know someone with metastatic breast cancer, there is more financial help at the Angela Andrade Foundation. And there's an American Children Cancer Benevolence Fund. Call 813-550-8999 for burial, funeral help, financial assistance, help for health care, prescription assistance, and housing. All right, there is more help to pay for housing by the Michigan Department of Treasury. Actually, this is a homestead property tax credit for renters. And you can go to the website, Michigan Department of Treasury. There's financial assistance, guys, to living donors to cover non-medical donations and related expenses. You can go over to American Living Organ Donor Fund. I'll say again, American Living Organ Donor Fund. All right, there's financial assistance provided by the Army. So the Army Emergency Relief. Contact 866-878-6378. There's a housing improvement program, guys. If you know somebody that needs home repairs, renovation to their homes, all right, for health and safety reasons, they can go over to the U.S. Department of Interior, Indian Affairs, or contact 615-564-6712. There is another Lifeline program, and you can contact Access Wireless. There's a VA home loan for surviving spouses. Contact the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Another lifeline program, guys, Assurance Wireless and TDS Telecommunications. Moving on. Another lifeline program for low-income people. You can contact Federal Communications Commission. And there's a lupus emergency grant program to help pay for healthcare and housing and utilities and prescription assistance. You can contact 1-800-867-1743. Hello, Christina. Thank you for coming through here today. All right, moving on. For internet help, you can contact Spectrum, 844-525-1574. And there's an abortion assistance support program to pay for travel, food, lodging, childcare, and housing. You would need to get a referral from a clinic or an abortion fund, but you can contact the Brigade Alliance. That is BRIGID Alliance. All right, water bill assistance. You can contact the Human Utility, the Detroit Water Project. And a family assistance program, guys, for those in need who have a child undergoing treatment for brain cancer. And that is the Matthew Larson Foundation. All right. There's an emergency assistance grant for those with multiple sclerosis, and you can contact the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation at 888-673-6287. And more support for those that are patients with breast cancer. You can call the Myositis Support and Understanding. I'm assuming that's what that is. All right, moving on. An energy bill help payment program is called the CARE program, and it is offered by Consumers Energy. You want to call 800-477-5050. A breast cancer financial assistance grant offered by Remember Betty Foundation, guys. Please pass this information along. All right, there is a place for wounded veterans to help them get their homes upgraded to where it's accessible for those that are handicapped. You can call Jerry Allen's Home for Wounded Warriors, 480-991-3047. And there's financial assistance for the Air Force by the Air Force Association. There's home ownership services help offered by Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and it will help with emergency payments and help to pay for housing. That is 844-464-3447. And there is help for those families with their children that needs to receive some needed care. Okay, so help for health care, help for housing, help for gas, help to pay for a car, guys. You can contact the Oracle Health Foundation. And financial support for families battling pediatric brain cancer. If you need some housing assistance, help to pay for utilities, gas, housing, you can contact Team Buddy Forever Foundation. There is a HUD public housing program. You can go over to Romulus Housing Commission, 734-729-5389. Another Section 8 Housing Choice voucher administered by Taylor Housing Commission. You can contact 734-287-9460. Another Housing Choice voucher, you can go over to Plymouth Housing Commission, 734-455-3670, extension 246. Also, public housing program offered from Rockwood Housing Commission, 734-379-9700. All right, moving on, moving on. To pay for the hidden costs of a cancer diagnosis and treatment, guys, there's a place called Bright Spot Network. They will help you pay for housing, okay? Moving on, there's a Veterans Emergency Grant Program offered by Wells Fargo. And there is an Operation Family Fund that provides financial assistance to eligible service members. Operation Family Fund is who they can contact. All right. There is a place that helps with temporary housing, drug treatment, and medical treatment, and other expenses for those that are offering a lung transplant. So there's a lung transplant assistance program. It is offered by Second Wind Lung Transplant Association, guys. All right. And there is a place that helps with financial burdens to parents whose children are currently hospitalized or receiving medical treatment to help pay for food, healthcare, housing, and utilities. So a financial assistance program, it is offered by Caleb's Foundation, Pennies from Heaven. And that is all that I have for Detroit today, guys. So as I said, we talk about housing every week. We talk about low-income assistance and low-income relief right here on this channel. So if you guys want to stay updated, just subscribe and see me again on next week. Make sure you pass this video along, help people along the way. That's what life is all about, right? We're not on this earth by ourselves. So help people. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. I'll be back on here today with more housing information as soon as I complete it. I believe I will be talking about Kentucky today. Someone asked me to do Kentucky. So I believe I'll be talking about that pretty soon. So look out for that. I love you. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.